Hello guys, welcome back. This is the second part of the Quivr video. In the first one, I explained what is Quivr and how you can use the web app which is mentioned here, quivr.app, right? At the end of this video, after we follow all the different steps mentioned in this particular repository, you will have the same Quivr app running locally on your system, connecting to the Supabase as a vector store. For those who already know some kind of software engineering things, it might be quite straightforward. But for those of you who are completely new to this field, I'm going to explain it step by step, meaning that the video is going to be a little bit long. Feel free to skip some parts if you are already familiar with it. Let's get started. Just a recap for you is this is how the things actually work when you start having a conversation with the documents, right? So there are different steps involved here. What is different in this particular Quivr app is instead of Pinecone, 5 CPU and Chroma DB, we are going to use Supabase. If you want to know what is happening in different pieces here, I highly recommend you to watch my Flowwise UI for LangChain video, where I have explained how these different pieces are connected together and how you can create a custom chatbots for your documents. Okay, I am on the GitHub repo. Let's scroll a little bit down here. It says what it is and all the different key features it has here. And currently the supported files are text, markdown, PDF, PowerPoint, Excel, Word, audio, video, but you can easily customize if you need. If you want to make this own customizable because it runs locally, you can do that. Or if you want to use the one that is already being provided, there will be many things implemented in the future also. So you can wait until that is implemented. And one thing is that I will at least create one video in the future related to Quivr when the private GPT will be integrated. Yeah, here you can see the demo with GPT 3.5 and how it is being implemented. And there is also the different demo part here. And this is the new version what we will be going through in this particular video. Getting started, a new version, right? What you need first before starting this, you need to have Docker and Docker Compose installed in your local computer. For that, you need to go to this docker.com website and download the Docker for your particular machine. And next, we will also need an account in Supabase, and we need to create the account. We need to have the API key and the Supabase project URL. First, I hope you already have the Docker downloaded at this point now. If you haven't, please first download this Docker and watch this video. And also, I will show you how you can create the Supabase account now. If we go to the Supabase link, it opens in the new tab. Of course, this is the Supabase website. You need to first log in, right? For login, if you click this sign in, it says continue with GitHub or continue with SSO, or you can provide your email and password. I'm going to actually continue with GitHub. If I click continue with GitHub, it is going to connect to GitHub. I have already done the process once. For me, it is directly connecting here, but for you, it might ask to confirm if you want to give access to GitHub or not. I have already created one demo project here, but what you need to do is now create a new project, right? I will show you how you can do that. Click this new project icon here, and you need to make organization. So when you create the account first, it will ask you to create the organization. The organization is just your name, and it is created automatically. You don't need to do anything. So you said, okay, choose the organization, and you can now give the name. For this, I'm just going to give the name Quivr, and the database password, I'm just going to use the one that I have used before. And region, I recommend you to choose the one that is near to you. For me, I'm going to choose West EU, Ireland. And pricing plan is free, so we don't need to pay anything. And you can click this create new project. It will take some time to create the project. This is all you need to do in order to get connected, right? Here you can see there is the project API keys, and here is the key that we need later on. And here is the project configuration, the URL, and JWT secret. We need these things later. So yeah, it says here it is setting up the project. We'll come back here once we are on the particular time, right? Now what we need to do is, let's hope that you already downloaded the Docker. In order to open Docker, there are different steps that you need to do. But for me, I will just go to my terminal and just open the Docker with open-a Docker. In Mac, this is how I open my Docker. Now it is going to open. As you can see here, I don't have any projects currently running here. This is the Docker environment. When we start building the app, you can see the Docker app being popped up here. What is the next thing that we need to do is, first we need to go and clone the repository, right? If you have the SSH keys, you can follow this next one, and if you don't have the SSH key, you can follow this first one. I am not going to configure the SSH keys for this. I'm going to copy this first command, and you can go to the terminal and just Control V, paste. It is going to clone, and then we will be inside this particular Quivr repo. As you can see here, we are inside already here. And if I do ls, you can see there are different things which are in this particular repo, and these are all the things which is here, right? And now the next step you need to perform is, let me go here. By the way, the steps are clearly mentioned, so it's not that hard. Here you need to copy, and you need to copy this .backend.example and place it in the backend/.env, right? I'm just going to copy this and go to my terminal and then paste it here. Now that is done. What I will do next is open this particular thing in my VS Code. I'm going to open in VS Code. Okay, as you can see here, now I am on the VS Code. First thing what I need to do is, if you go on the top, there is this terminal, and you can create the new terminal. And the new terminal will be here. We don't need to go back to the terminal, what I just showed you before, right? Here, as you can see here in the backend, there is this .env here. And then we need to paste the environment variables here in the, let me make this little bit smaller now. And this is the backend part, and there is the front end part where there is also the .env. Let me open this both side by side. By the way, if you double click, it will open here. If you just do one click, then when you open the next one, it is not overwritten, but that is not shown here. I recommend you to just do double click. It is here. And again, for the next one, you can do double click. So yeah, what we need here is, as you can see here, this is the front end. We don't need to change this to anything. The next thing is we need the Supabase URL and the Supabase ANON key, right? If we go to our Supabase website, and now we are inside our project, right? So this is the Quivr project. And if you go to this settings, project settings, and here is the API section. If you go here, and there are all the details for you. I'm going to delete this project afterwards. I'm going to show you all the API keys, but for you, please don't expose the API keys. We need the anon public key, right? So this is the API key. I will just copy this one and go back to my VS Code and place it here, right? I just need to go here and Control V. And I need to have the public Supabase URL also. For that, I need to go back here, and you can see here somewhere, here is the URL. I copied this one, go back to the VS Code and go here, and then I can just Control V. And you need to save this, Control yes. Now the front end part is done. If you go to the back end, let me actually delete the ones that we don't need, because we don't need this Google Cloud one, because we are not going to implement this, and we don't need the Anthropic API key also, and other things, yeah, we need. So here, as you can see here, we need to provide the Supabase URL that we just copied, right? I just paste it here. This is the Supabase URL and Supabase service key, and there is the, if I go back to the website, there should be a service key, and the service key, if you scroll down here, this is the service key is the one that is ANON public. If I just copy this, and if I go to my VS Code, and I can just replace this service key, Control V, right? And then there is the JWT secret key. If we go again back, this is the JWT settings. As you can see here, there is the secret key. So yeah, I'm going to reveal this, copy, and then go back to my VS Code. And if you can see here, this is the place where we need to get it. Just go here, Control V, Control S. Now I saved it. Next thing what we need is the OpenAI API key. Now let's go to the Google Chrome again. Let's open a new tab, Control V. This platform.openai.com account API keys. If you press enter, it will show us the API key part. You need to have an account for this. I have already created some of those. I can maybe delete this because I used that last time. I revoke that. I will create a new one and give here the name Quivr so that I know which API key is being used in which project. And I create the API key or the secret key. I copy this one, go back to the VS Code, and in this place where it says OpenAI API key, I will just paste it here, Control S. So yeah, now the Supabase part and the OpenAI part is now done. So if we go here, we completed this step 3. So we updated this thing and we take all the necessary things from here. We don't need to do anything about the GCP. If you want, you can follow that. And we change the variables in backend.env and change the variable in the frontend.env. So the next thing we need to do is run the following migration scripts on the Supabase database. So we are going to follow this particular 4 steps and then we can create the Docker image. Okay, so the easiest way is just to click this link so you are not confused, right? You can click this migrate script 1 and it will take us to the script part here. You can just copy this. This is what is this? This is actually the SQL script that we are going to provide in the Supabase, right? Because this is Postgres SQL and this is how we actually create the table. Here it says the create table if not exist, and there are different tables, and that is how the SQL script looks like. If you are new to SQL, don't worry, we don't need to know what it is doing behind the scene, but we just need to provide this into the Supabase. It creates the table for us. Just copy this, go back to your Supabase account, and if you can go here, we need to go to this SQL editor. Go to this SQL editor, go to this new query, and there is the new query window here. Just do Control V that we just copied, right? And now it says here the right icon mean that all changes saved, and just run this cell. If we run this, it says success, no rows returned. It's fine. This is what it needs to show us. Now we go back to the website. We go back one step because we need to go to the Supabase part here. Now we need to go to this migration script 2. Click this one and just copy this. Go back to your Supabase and in the same place, just do Control A and then you can remove this and just do Control V. We paste the thing that we just copied, right? We don't need to create new. We can do all things in the same window. And then here we can just say run. So success, no rows returned, right? This is done. Now we need to go to the third one. Again, go back and go to this migration script 3. Copy this, copy it. Let's go back here, Control A and then Control V. You just replace that, right? And you can run this, success. Now you go back, one more script is needed now. And then there is the migration script 4. So you just copy this, go back to the Supabase and Control A, Control V. We have this and we just run this. Now success, no row returned. What is happening behind the scene we are creating different tables here. If you click this table editor, you can see that there are 4 different tables being created, and that is what we did by copying the scripts from GitHub and pasting in the Supabase. So now we are done with creating the tables. What we can do next, let me go back in the GitHub, is we can launch the app. By the way, if you are new in this channel and you find the content useful, please like the videos, subscribe if you haven't already, because that motivates me to create new content in the future also. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so now we can launch the app. You can just copy this line here and go back to your VS Code. And we have the terminal here. Now let me make this terminal bigger. And by the way, I will just revoke these keys. It does not matter if I'm showing you here. What I can do here is just do Control V. If I run this, it is going to create the Docker image and the Docker will be running in our localhost. It will take some time. I will be back when this is done. Okay, it didn't took that long, but around 40 seconds. And now you can see when this is completed, successfully completed, it shows here that container web is created, container backend is created. And here you can access the ready started server at localhost 3000, right? What we can do is we can just click this link here. And now we have our localhost 3000. Yeah, there is the app. As I said before, it is similar to what it is running on the website, and we have this on our localhost, right, where it is. It's here. What we can do now, as you can see here, there is GitHub, Discord, and all the different things. There is this dark mode and light mode, as I showed you in my previous video. There is all the different links. Now we can create an account here, because we cannot go inside without creating an account, right? What you can do is send magic link, and you can use Google, or you can just provide your email address and password, but you need to do sign up first, right? For signing up, if you already have the account, you can go and sign here, but sign up, I will just use the same my email, and the password I will just provide something here. Let me provide some password here. Okay, I think that is fine. I will do sign up, and okay, confirmation email sent, please check your email. Let me go to the Gmail. Yeah, it says here confirm, and if I confirm this, it is going to open here. I will just drag this here for you. Yeah, let me open this. So yeah, this is what it is shown here once I approve. This is same as what I told you before, right? There is the upload, and this is the upload, and there is the chat. You can have a conversations once you upload the file, and there is this explore where you can upload the documents. It says here, oh no, your brain is empty, right? Here you can see there is the thing which says you are logged in. So yeah, basic data science brain uses 100% empty. Today's request, I don't have any request. Remaining brain size is 50 MIB of 50 MIB. What we can do now is go to this explore and upload something here, right? We can just click here. I'm going to upload the same state of the union txt as I did in my previous one. Here is the state of the union. I will do the upload, and it will take some time to be uploaded, right? Let's wait for some time to be uploaded, because the UI is the same. The only difference is that now we are using our own OpenAI keys and our own Supabase vector stores that is being used as a vector store, right? It says successfully uploaded, dismiss. If I click explore, yeah, you can see here state of the union. If I click this view, you can see that this is the same thing that is shown yesterday also, because behind the scene it is using the same code, right? Yeah, all the things are the same here. I can close this for now. If I now go to this chat icon, I can ask anything here. I can ask what is the president talking about. It will go through that particular document, and in the different chunks it will find the topics. The president is talking about a variety of topics, including the situation in Ukraine, the impact of pandemic, and all the different things. It finds different things similar to what this actually matches, right? I can even ask something different, which says, why is NATO formed? This is the question. Maybe there is something related to this in that particular document, right? So NATO was formed to secure peace and stability in Europe after World War II. So as you can see here, it went through that particular document and find that chunk here. Now, if you go to the explore again, here you can just upload and the URL also. Let's use the same URL that I used before, the fast AI things, right? I can crawl this now. It is going to crawl and get that particular thing. This is the same thing that I'm showing you, what I showed you in my earlier video. It is going to crawl for some time and it will get all the information. Yeah, it is successful. If I go to explore, yeah, you can see here, if I do the view, it is shown. It is loading fast now. Now I can ask the questions in the chat. I can go here and say, what is fast AI? It should give the information from that particular document. Yeah, fast AI is not mentioned in the given context, but it is free online course and software library for machine learning. Why is it not mentioned? It is mentioned. Let me ask, what is fast.ai? Let me see if it gets the answer from there. It is going to go through. Yeah, fast.ai is a project that provides high quality educational resources. As you can see here, the better the question you ask, the better the response, because I just asked what is fast AI and it says okay, fast AI is not mentioned in the given context, but then it provide the answer. But here I said what is fast.ai and it just provide me the answer. So yeah, you can just upload as many documents as you want. For now they have some certain file formats that needs to be uploaded, but if you are good in developing something, you can modify the code and make it run in different kind of file formats, or wait when there is new development in the Quivr app. Okay, one last thing I would like to show you is once we run all the different things in the app itself, you might be wondering how the data is being stored in the Supabase, right? Now if you go to the Supabase, this is what we have created, 4 different tables for our Quivr project, right? If you go to these users, you can see that this is the user we created, right? I provided my email address and that is the user ID. I made 4 different requests and all the different things are being stored here. So if you go to the summarize, so here is also the different things. If you go to the stats, here is also different things. And the main thing is it is storing all the different things and also the vectors, because we are using Supabase as our vector store, right? So these vectors, as you can see here, this is the table which holds our content, our metadata and our embeddings. As you can see here, there is the ID, user ID, content and the metadata, as well as the embeddings of that particular content. So if you scroll here, let me see, there are actually 32 of those. So you might be wondering why 32, right? Because if you go back to our app and if you go to the explore, we have uploaded 2 different documents, and the one document of fast AI has 12 chunks and the next one we have 20 chunks. So when we add these 2, there is 32, right? That is the reason we have 32 here, meaning that one row here corresponds to one particular chunk of that particular document. So yeah, that is how it is being stored. And the good part of Supabase is that now you can export this particular table and do any kind of visualizations that you want. And if you go back to the Quivr app and if you go to the settings, now you can see that some of the part of the brain is being used and the total request is 4. And where is this information coming from? It is coming from that Supabase. As you can see here on the users, it was showing 4 different requests, email address was here and all the different things. So yeah, here it is being reflected here, remaining size, all the different things, because that is the vector stored, as well as all the information stored is the Supabase, and we are just rendering the data from there into this good looking UI. Okay, when you run this particular Docker image, as you can see here, we just went to this localhost from this link, right? But whenever you were interacting with the UI, there is something happening behind the scene in the terminal also. The thing that we saw on the UI is the front end part. As you can see here, it is shown here back end, and you can see all the different information being created. And here you can see that is entering a new stuff document chain or all the different chains. If you are familiar or have watched my YouTube videos earlier, you know that when we enter a chain, these are the kind of messages that is being printed. You can cancel this is just pressing Ctrl+C on the terminal. You can cancel this app from running. And one last thing, if you go to Docker, you can see that there is this Quivr front end and Quivr back end being created. As I showed you in the beginning, there was nothing here. Okay, that's all for this video. Let me know in the comment section if you find it helpful. Were you able to run the app locally or not? If yes, that's great. If not, maybe I can provide some help, or you can go to this particular GitHub repo and in the issues section, that is the best place I would recommend to go and ask the questions. So not only me, but other people who are using this particular app can help you. Yeah, thank you for watching and see you in the next video.